Yes, you beautiful people. We are back. Fresh UK
We
podcast.
are back.
Yeah. And the only way we've got to evolve with the times really is just to not be actually live in the studio. Like a lot of podcasts out there at the minute, they're all over Skype or Zoom. And that's exactly what we're doing today.
That's right.
And the guest we've got is all the way up in Scotland. Yes, Sean.
So it would have probably been quite difficult for you to come down, to be fair, anyway, wouldn't it, to the podcast, mate, with it being so far away?
I would have came down if it was restrictions was eased up a wee bit. I would have popped in and seen you like that. But this is fine. You know, I'm up in Scotland and it's first time meeting you over Skype.
That's it.
I have to say, it's new for all of us, mate,
it.
to be fair.
It's all new.
So I don't do this. I know a lot of people at home right now will be like, oh, that's what we've been doing for the last year at work. You know what I mean? Doing on Zoom calls every day.
We're a year late to the party, and we're actually an hour late sorting this out because of the technical issue. So I do appreciate your patience as well, mate. So, I mean, let's get straight to it. So if you wanna introduce yourself and just explain who you are and sort of what's brought you to the podcast, really.
Well, I'm Sean Begg. I'm severely dyslexic. I was going to touch on that. And I ended up writing a book last year, and well, I got it published. It means I'm just trying to demote my book and tell people about dyslexia and probably what's it all about. Yeah.
Okay, so I know a few people myself that are dyslexic. I've got one customer that is he pushes on, but it does limit him in certain areas. So when did you first realise that you had a problem or something?
Well, I think when I was younger, I always struggling with reading and writing, and I used to hide it. I used to always tell people I forgot my glasses, or I end up looking at a newspaper and just looking at pictures, and then trying to figure out from my pictures what the story's about. And then when I went into high school, that's when I started really struggling, and I've just low self-esteem in myself, and feeling like you're stupid, you're thick, because that's the way people sort of said, and just getting severely bullied in high school just made me feel rubbish about myself.
And at that time though, when you were in high school, you still wasn't sure like why, or was you already diagnosed as dyslexic?
I think because like if I was in high school now, it'd be different. I think when I was younger, it was kind of like a guinea pig generation. It's like, all right, we'll label you, but we didn't know what to do with you. Because you end up sitting in a classroom by yourself, or in a hut with other guys with other sort of difficulties. Like, oh, he's a nonsense in the classroom. We just put him in the hut.
That's it. So you weren't essentially that you were labelled, like you say, but there was no pathway or no processes for how to sort of help somebody with dyslexia. You were just bundled with all the other kids that needed something. Yeah.
And that was means you end up means you're sitting in a class by yourself, and I started writing short stories because I really liked English, and I ended up writing a story, and a teacher never marked it for me. He went and said, no, you got somebody else to help you. And I said, no, I wrote this. And he was like, it means I end up kicking off in class, and I got chucked out of class in English. And I sat in the classroom by myself for 2 years. It means I thought I can either sit in the classroom by myself for 2 years, or I end up writing short stories. And I end up putting symbols at the top of my stories to remind me what I wrote, like sort of hieroglyphics. All right. And a picture as well. It means I know I can look at two things and mind what story I wrote. Wow. And that's where my book came about.
Okay, sounds good. So did you sort of did you carry on sort of just trying to go through life, trying to do your thing with no assistance, or did you start to get a bit of help as you started to sort of progress into higher education or into work, or what? Have you found it a challenge for your whole life?
Well, what is it? I did get a scribe in high school at the end. That was for doing my exams. But like, that was right at the end. I could have got that through primary school and high school, but and then I was struggling with jobs because I always tried to find ways around it, and I had it, but then I was like going to jobs, and I ended up getting fired because my reading and writing was that poor, or like I found certain things I was struggling with.
Did you admit to these people that
in the high school I did, but I think through time, I had it because I was so ashamed by it. You know, being somebody, they're late teens and they can't even a three-letter word. And then in the same way, I was good with loads of other stuff. Means I was just like, well, I don't know. You know, if somebody says you're stupid over time, you feel stupid. It means as I say,
Of course, yeah, of course.
Is but the way I see it with dyslexia, it's like is different levels. You got a level for your B's and D's what get mixed up, and and then you get a level for it's rough reading and writing, but you can't get through it. But with me, it's severely dyslexic. I tried my best to read and write for years. Even when I left high school, I ended up going to classes at night after work. And after 24, I was like, I'm never going to grasp this. But the other good bit is visually I'm good with stuff, and art I'm really creative because I've got a more creative mind. And I'm trying to think.
Yeah, but this is I was going to say, I've did a little bit of research on dyslexia, and like you just basically just going off what you just said, there's different sort of severity levels of dyslexia. Whereas, and also everybody with dyslexia, as well as people without, can actually see the words as everybody else can see the words, but it's the way you process it. So, with like I say, with having different sort of levels of severity, of dyslexia, you can actually teach your brain, the program of your brain, can't you, to get a lot better. Is that why you said like you went to college and you went to night school and to improve it?
I tried. I just think because mine was so severe. Like I even had coloured glasses because the words used to jumble about. It was like it was like looking through something in the water. You know where you see it trickling in. And I thought everyone.
Are the yellow lenses?
Some people get yellow. I had bright pink ones. I look like the George Michael with mine.
Yeah, my cousin Amber is exactly the same, but she literally only got diagnosed in I think the past year or two, and she has these bright yellow ones apparently.
It does. It helped me for a wee while, but once if you're tired because you're straining, it comes back. But it does help for like a wee while.
And with the spelling as well, like apparently people with dyslexia, obviously, like I said, depending on how bad it is, write things down phonetically. So friends, for example, is FRENS, friends, or things like that. These are the examples I've seen. Like I said, I watched a few videos. I'm just reiterating what I've watched here. Is that the case then? Was that the case for you when you text or when you used to write in school?
Well, with me, like, because I'm Scottish, like when you say something and I end up writing it in Scottish slang sometimes, it's just like I can't, text in like.
Is that hence the reason that you've obviously your book's called Alone in My Head, but you spell the word head HEID, which is I think is quite clever because obviously the meaning of the book is about you and the stories you've got about being dyslexic. And
I suppose the name of the book almost like sort of highlights an element of dyslexia, doesn't it? Like George just said, with potentially using a phonetic way of spelling things. With you being Scottish, you've thought, well, that's how I would spell that word because that's how I say that word. So I think it's quite a clever use of words. Definitely.
I still spell like that anyway. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, not so much nowadays, but going back like 10 years ago, when people used to text and short text and things like that, it's when people just used to put the letter U for you and just loads of things like that, But nowadays, people are correcting everybody for not spelling things right. So it's really took a turn, I think, when it comes to text language.
I find annoying bit is everything's online now. It means like. It's fine if you can read and write, but like see people nobody speaks on the phone anymore. It's like they all text. I'm like, oh, didn't he text me? And they'd text me a big spiel, and I'm getting wee bits, and I mean little bits, and I phone them, and he didn't answer the phone because they're too either nobody answers phones. He's,
To be fair, I mean, we're me and him. If we're chatting, or me and a lot of my mates, will just send the voice notes. So they're like the voice notes on WhatsApp. The things like that are a godsend, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
Literally, that's all we ever do.
Yeah.
We don't even text, even if it's just like 2 words, like F off, and then that's it. You just fucking.
But they're useful. They're useful. Or maybe that can be your next project, a pure voice messaging service. So there's no texting. There you go.
Or your next book can just be on Audible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I should get an Audible. I can't even say that word now, but I should do that because.
So let's talk more about your book then. So when did it actually start? Was it in high school? Because you've been writing it for how many years?
But till I was 14, till I was 24. I'm now 33, just turned, and I just got it published last year.
Wow.
And are these, so just describe, obviously I haven't read the book yet because it's also short notice. I've been so busy this past week, but just, give us a sort of lowdown of are they actually, is it a book made of stories or a book made of stories, feelings, like, a collection of...
Yeah, what is it?
A collection of feelings. It started off, it was Gothic fairy tales, and it was more to do with dark sort of magical stories where it was a twist at the end where it was Gothic fairy tales really, yeah. And then when I started getting into my teens and it was starting to do with drink and experiment with drugs like that, and it was more.
Who doesn't? You know what I mean?
Who hasn't? Yeah.
Who hasn't? Oh, so yeah. They're still past tense, not present.
I was gonna say.
Who hasn't?
We'll edit that bit out.
It was to do that, and it was to do with realizing how I was feeling, and sort of it's been really depressed. I was sitting there feeling really down, and the only way I was getting out was writing short stories, and then I was just leave it in a cupboard and never look at it again. And it was only just before I was getting it published, I was looking at these stories and I'm going to have a sit here. People are going to read this.
All right, yeah.
My granny's going to read it. Oh no! But I was like, it's all or nothing. I thought, well, it showed a time in my life. Yeah. I mean, it got at stories, and then it was sort of do with, it was a couple of stories that are more on a religious side. No, not because I'm religious, but it's just my sort of thoughts and feelings towards religion. There's a bit of that as well.
Cool. So at what point did you go, hang on a minute, I need to put all this together into a book? This is did somebody say to you come on, Sean, you need to do this? Or what was the inspiration for actually taking all that stuff out of your cupboard and actually making it into something?
I think because I was always wanting to get my book published. I was always into storytelling. When I was a kid, I'd be 10 and I used to always go to bookshops. Even I couldn't read the books. I used to just look at the books and just always fancied having my own book. And I think when I moved back in with my mum, and then the lockdown just happened, and I just got fired this time last year on Monday, and I was like, that's it. I'm done with work and I'm raging it. And then the lockdown happened, and I was like, I got time to do stuff what I love doing because I looked through my stories, and then I self-published it on lulu.com and an ebook. And then Amazon picked it up after that, and I thought, brilliant, that's what I was wanting. And then that was it. That's where it came from. That.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's on Amazon right now, isn't it?
Yeah,
for those people who want to go and check it out. Alone in My Heid.
Well, we'll put some links below to the Amazon stuff. So, have you had any negative backlash? Did your granny read it?
My granny hasn't. I think my family were kind of hiding it on her. It's like, I heard you wrote a book, and she was gurning. She goes, what you been writing about? And I was like, nah, it's fine, Granny. But I never had any poison apples yet with it. It's not
good. Not yet.
No, not yet. I was waiting for it, but no, it's not been bad. It's been quite good. It's got a guy, David Scott from up north. He does a newspaper, and he wrote a story about it. And then I went till Johnny Groat's journal, till then North Times, they picked it up. And then Edinburgh Evening News picked it up. And then his son picked it up after him. And I was like, all right, this is going somewhere. And then it went, sorry.
No, I was just saying, that's amazing, yeah.
And then after that, it went till women's magazines, and I thought, all right, I'm on women's magazines now. I mean, it was on like Take a Break and what was it? What was the other one? Take a Break and Pick Me Up magazine as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And then after that, it ended up. I did a short video explaining about my book, and I posted up on the Facebook, and then it did around. It ended up in CNN's Facebook page, yeah. And I was like,
whoa, Jesus Christ, man!
Because I was like, well, this is going somewhere, eh? And then it was on Fox's Facebook page, and then it went to Steve-O, you know, at Jackass.
Yeah. No way. Really?
His man, eh? And I was like, this is brilliant. And then it went till, what is it, Daily Mail.
Have you spoke to him? Spoke to Steve-O yet?
No.
Nah. Just chuck him, just slide in his DMs, bro.
Just send him a message. Hope you enjoyed the book, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then just say, go check me out on Fresh UK Podcast, bro. And then go and check the boys out. They want you on. You know what I mean?
So is it continued to kind of get people's attention and be picked up by stuff?
Like I think like BBC picked it up and it was on their Facebook page, and then it was on Rolling Stone for 2 days on their Facebook page. And that one to me, I was just like, you had Willie Nelson with a joint, and then there's just a video of me at the bottom, and I was like, this is brilliant.
That's brilliant.
You made it. I made it.
So did you not have to do any paid promotion then whatsoever?
What's that, sorry?
Paid promotion.
Have you not had to pay to promote the book or anything? You've not done any marketing?
It's all been me sort of like just trying to get out there as much as I can.
Yeah.
And then I was, I don't know if you know Dee Maxwell. She's a Scottish comedian, woman. But she does a live stream most nights, and she had my book, and she ended up speaking about it, and I was like, that's my book. And she's like, buy this book, Sean Begg's book's amazing, by the way. And I was like, what?
Wow.
My mate phoned me up and goes, 10, I don't know, he said it was 10,000 people. I think he was exaggerating that. Saying they seen that, and I was like, he goes, you're fucked for signing on now. And I was like, oh well.
You're fucked for signing on now, bro.
That's it. Yeah, you can't do that
you
now.
Can't do the rock and roll anymore, mate.
Famous publisher now, so fantastic. So, what's like? Are you just seeing how things go with that? Are you wanting to do anything more with it, or are you looking at maybe doing some other books, or what are you doing with your time now? Now the book's done and out there.
Right now. What is that? I got a box of stories. Means through lockdown, I end up putting 2 stories together and speaking for a dictaphone. It means it was 3 hours and 20 minutes long, one of the stories. But the thing is, because of lockdown, I got no ghostwriter to write them out for me. But they're there. It means I just wait, and hopefully I get them published. That would be good.
Yeah, definitely. Keep the momentum up, because obviously there's a bit of a buzz around the first book. Get something out that's similar, that's complementary to that first one. And
I really want to read it now.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I send you both a copy down now.
Well,
mate, that would be fantastic.
Do you know what? No, do you know what? We'll buy one.
Yeah,
we'll buy a copy. That's fair. We'll buy.
Ollie said he'll buy us both.
We'll buy a copy.
Ollie's going to buy us both.
I would have signed it.
Well, actually.
Till the best podcast there.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll look at how much they cost, we'll donate the amount to some charity somewhere, and then you can send us one signed. How about that? That sounds like a plan.
That's a fucking fantastic.
That sounds like a plan. Then we get a signed one for when you're a big, famous publisher. And we can
then your next David Williams doing his books and stories.
And then we can stick that on eBay and sell it for a load of money. And then I'm only joking.
We'll frame it, mate.
So have you been contacted to do like interviews or anything like that with, because you say it's been picked up by various different outlets. Have they reached out to you?
BBC contacted me just before Christmas. And what is it? They want me to do short videos on dyslexia for their social media. Means I've been doing that every day, just making short videos for them, seeing if you like them or you don't. I've done about 44 videos so far, in a year. Means it might. I'm hoping something to pull off with that, but it's not been written any contracts yet. It's just him speaking to me over Skype.
Yeah, but you know what? You've just got to keep banging the drum, haven't you? You've just got to keep sending stuff to people. You've just got to keep, pushing forward, and then eventually, like you say, things get picked up like the book has, and before you know it, you're on CNN and all sorts. So yeah, fantastic stuff. Cool. So, what I mean, apart from short stories, how have you been? How did you find the last year or so? It's been we kind of covered that on every podcast. So, have you just been immersing yourself in writing and publishing, or have you been,
Just me and my hand tonight, you know, in one of them.
What's that, sorry?
Is it just you and your hand every day? What is it? I meant writing books.
Can't
take them anywhere, mate.
toilet humour.
Yeah, so
So, what else have you been doing over the last year or so? What?
Oh, well, what is it? I just think last year was a blessing in disguise for me. Like a year before that, I was like 2019. I was just like depressed. I was just working on work sites then, and then this happened, and I was just like, that's it. I'm just doing stuff what I like doing, and doors was opening up. You know, when other people said I didn't know what to do with myself, but I was being busy doing videos and writing and just doing art. These things I like doing, and I think it was good because like year before I was just like, I can't be bored. I just could not be arsed getting out of my bed. You know, it's just that sort of feeling.
What a difference a year can make. What a difference a year can make. Definitely. So. Fantastic. I mean, I've always thought about maybe writing books and stuff like that, but I don't think I've got enough interesting stuff to really talk about. So
No, he really hasn't.
you're supposed to like, oh, what about me? I'm joking.
well, yeah, so
I was watching a podcast, and I thought you were starting on a book. I can't mind which podcast I was watching, and I was maybe I picked it up wrong. I thought you were writing.
I'd like to write an autobiography one day because I've had a very interesting life, but I think I have anyway. But maybe everyone else won't find it interesting. Who knows? I don't know. I write a blog. I have a blog, but apart from that, no, not a. But I mainly blog about scams and stuff.
I don't blog about
I'm always on about scams. I think everything's a scam.
Yeah.
Everything,
Conspiracy.
mate. Everything. You get it every day, don't you? Emails and all that kind of shit. What's this? And you get Amazon and the Apple.
Yeah.
And
click here to change your password, and it's like
your Apple phone is. I've never had an Apple phone, mate. Yeah. You know what I mean? What?
They're phoning you up saying, "Oh, you've been in a car accident." You're like,
The classic.
I always tell them that no, I've never owned a car. No, I don't know what you're on about. I always like really play dumb, and they're just.
Yeah, but one of the main things you can point out straight away is when they address the email to your email address.
Yeah.
Like dear navesblaze@hotmail.com, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, you don't even know my name for a start.
Or greetings.
Yeah.
Greetings. That's I actually have a thing on my email. If somebody starts an email with greetings, it actually filters it out and bins it. I never see the email. That's a true story.
I feel sorry for people like my mum and that. She's pressed on a few things though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what's the plan going forward? I know we've kind of covered this a little bit, but what you say you're now doing things that you want. You're doing these videos. Have you got an end goal in sight? Have you got something? Do you want to have a YouTube channel? Do you want to do your own podcast? Or what's the end game for you?
I got a YouTube channel. I did what is it again? I was speaking to my mates. I used to be mad for filming. I used to just go about filming everything. And my mate's like, "Oh, you still got the old videos?" And I thought, you know what? I'll post them up on a YouTube channel. And it was a good and a bad and embarrassing. You're looking back when you're a teenager and you're like, "Oh man, do I post it up or not?" And I'm like, "Nah, just do it." Means I did it. And I had about 200 videos on there. And then my auntie found it. And then my auntie's like gurning and then tell my granny, "Oh, it's bad. He's making us look bad." So I was like, "All right, I better take this down now." Means I just post up the cartoons now. You know, just. But it was a bit annoying now because it was good memories there. But
definitely, well, you could have made them more private so you can still view them, but you can't find them if someone looks for them. Do you know what I mean? That's what I've done. I did that with all mine.
I wasn't that sharp at the time. I was just like, just delete them. This is causing too much nonsense. But I should have kept them. I still got them in a box. But
okay. So is that going to get revived based on the new stuff you're publishing in the book and the direction you're going now? Do you feel that maybe you'll revisit the YouTube thing, start doing some videos again for yourself? I know you're doing them for the BBC, but
I definitely think I'm going to take out my old videos and I'm going to re-edit them and maybe try to tell a story through it. You know, like because it's just loads of old footage, like just parties and just growing up.
Yeah, definitely.
This is the sort of thing I was saying to a friend earlier. Like, you know, people want to buy like your product. People need to buy into you as well first.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So people need to, like, it's great for you to be on podcasts and things like that. And, you know, so glad you reached out to us, and you even found us on YouTube for a start, and to put you like sort of on the map. Do you know what I mean? And even in little tiny pieces at a time, like this, you know, people get to like you, and then want to know more about you, and want to know more about this book, and you know, it's you know, it's kind of like a marketing strategy, but at the same time, it's all exciting and something you really want to do.
It's marketing, but it's interesting because people will will sit and watch a podcast or something like, or an interview with you, and it's something they're interested in, but actually you're just advertising what you're doing. So,
and it's great for obviously times like this. You know, people. I mean, who knows? Boris has made these announcements, but you know, as right now. Like, I'm talking to someone at the minute, and they were sending me photos last night of a couple of books that they're reading at the minute, and I think a lot more people this past year are reading a lot more books.
I've listened to a lot of more books. I struggle with reading myself. Not like I can read, but I can't concentrate for long enough when I'm reading. And I think that's a product of a modern day kind of person. There, we read little snippets of info on social media everywhere. When do we ever really read paragraphs? You know? Yeah,
I'm the same though. Like, I can't. Like, I remember, I always have this really strong memory at school, and even scientists say when you remember, you know, with your earliest memories and things like that, you remember the emotion behind it. So that's what you know, you remember how you felt first. And I felt so fucking small in I think I was in like year 5 or year 6 at school, and I was in the class, and we would take, you know, how the teacher was just pointing at people to read out, like calling names, right? You're next. You read a page. Now you read a page. And this girl was before me, and oh my God, she was absolutely amazing at reading. Like, she was like, I don't know, like she worked at the news studio or something. She was like 11 years old. Do you know what I mean? And she was unreal. And after her, the teacher said, George, next. I went, what? I didn't even know where we was, mate. You know, I was probably chatting to my mate, like. It's probably why she picked on me.
Of course it was.
But I used to literally like read a line on the page, and then read the same line again, and then read the one above it, and then miss one, read the one below that. And I was getting so confused, and I'm like, I can feel myself sweating. Like, it was horrible.
Even that stuff, that's like, that just sounds like dyslexia as well. You know, like, if I do try to read, I can't mind what I read, you know, or like missing pages and snippets. Like, even with like my short-term memory is mint. Like, I mean, like, you could send me to like shops and go, right, get fags, milk, and tea bags. I would come back with fags, milk, and go, oh, that's right, tea bags. But long-term memory, I can mind what you're wearing, and you know, these things. What there's no need of minding about it. And same goes to taking in information wrong. Like, when I used to work on a work site, it'd be like, right, go till flat 5, level 4, and I'll go till flat 4, level 5, and go, where is everybody? And I used to do that the whole time, and it'd be like, fucking waking up, and like, oh, what, you know. But that's definitely part of being dyslexic, I think, as well. I think.
Did you learn to like brush stuff off like that? Because obviously that must have happened. Like I said, that.
I think like I had a thick skin. I don't know, like, you see when it comes to people joking about, that's okay. It's when it's like venom and hatred into it. You're like, you know what? You're just one of you guys, man. You know, can't be bored. What's up?
No, it's all right.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
His dog's here. We think his dog's just fought.
That's what I thought. I thought somebody's like off on.
You think, you know what I mean? Maybe it's a good job you're not in the studio right now, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It's possibly a good job. That's one benefit to a Zoom meeting, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've always thought, and I've not obviously thought I was dyslexic, but I have a problem with numbers. I have a real problem with numbers. Like, if someone will like give me a load of numbers to like, oh, just add all this up or do all this, and it's just like.
That's why you're good with spreadsheets, don't you? You like spreadsheets.
I like I'm technology and computers. That's fine. I'm terrible at writing. I struggle to read paragraphs and numbers. Numbers do what people like dyslexic people want to hear them talk about stuff. I get a similar kind of vibe with numbers. Like, numbers just like blah, and they're overwhelming to me. I can't, like, times tables and stuff like that. I'm not afraid to admit I can't do any of that. I just can't.
See,
I can't
used
do
to
it.
be good at numbers. I remember I used to like maths at school. And I was on about this the other week to my mum, and I remember being at school, and you know, on the paper you'd have all these sort of questions, and then on the tests they have to show you working out, and you must show you're working out all the freaking time, man. And I couldn't show me working out, but in my head I'm like, how can I write down what's going on in my head? I've worked it out in my head, but you have to do it their specific way, something divided by something else with the line, and carry it down, and I was like, what?
How are you with numbers?
Numbers I'm fine with, but like I wouldn't
You know how many books you've sold, bro, don't you?
end up looking at it and going, it's like what do you call it? Stock market, It goes up and down, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
But then, so you don't have the issue with numbers. You can, if someone times tables, calculations.
Oh, I wouldn't sit there and be confident with it, because I think I just got to, think, I'll probably get it wrong, but it's not like we're doing it right, innit?
Right.
Do you like to challenge yourself though?
With different stuff, like with goals, definitely. Like, like book was a goal. But I do. If somebody says you can't do it, it's like, well, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to try my best to do it. That's I don't know. That's they get no hold back that way.
Yeah, no, it's the best way to be, man. It's the best way to be, definitely.
That's what I like. I like to challenge myself all the time, like all the time. But like we were talking about this book the other week called The Chimp Paradox.
Yeah.
And it's about telling the chimp. It's basically like the animalistic side of people, when like you have quick reactions and you just go and someone pisses you off, and then later on you might sit back and go, why did he act like that? I was an idiot. I was fueled with adrenaline
rage.
and road
rage, for example. When we're in road rage situations, we'll kick off, and then later on we're like, oh, that guy was like 90 years old. Why did I get out of my car and bang on his window because he cut me up?
Well, the book talks all about managing your chimp, and it's it's a really like famous book, to be fair. I was talking about it to another guy the other day down Leicester, a customer of ours, and he said, yeah, I'm halfway through that. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's getting really big, this book, and it's on Audible as well. So for me, being a lorry driver, I can just listen to that when I'm driving around, and it's all about, he says, you'll never be able to control your chimp, but you can manage your chimp, and
give it a banana.
And you like testing yourself, and you give yourself a reward system. So you look around the house, and I fucking hate doing house jobs, and because I live on my own, especially the pots, right? But then if you give it and if you find success in everything you do, whether it be cleaning the pots, and you just feel, you feel like a sense of accomplishment after you've done that, and like if you've literally, as it says, find success in every single thing you do, you'll be a successful person. And to overcome little jobs and things like that, it's like a reward system, like I say. So if you go, I really want to I just want to go out, man, and just do this, or I just want to fuck about on my computer, or you go, okay, well, let me do. You tell yourself, I'm going to do them pots first, clean the house, and then I'll do this. Do you know what I mean? It's like the whole reward system, and then you feel better about your day.
I feel like me, like if my house is a mess, I'm sitting there going, as my mind's a mess, means I have to tidy up my house, and I have to sort of have stuff in there, little short goals, and then I'm like, I can sit and have a beer now.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
They say
reward.
They do say tidy house, tidy mind, don't they? Or tidy desk, tidy mind, or something like that. But yeah, it's I can sort of appreciate that. I'm similar, definitely.
I think they say tidy bird.
I'm not sure. You just on the brain. But if there's like clutter and everything around you, it's just. It's anxiety inducing, isn't it?
Just like a really tidy mind though right now.
Why?
Oh, I thought it was a tidy bird thing. Right? He's got a tidy bird.
Can you tell he's not like been able to talk to people for a few months? He's like, people. But so great.
You like my mate's like that. He's just edging to go. He's like he's missing just socialising with women like that.
Yeah.
It's the testosterone that were around you. It's your mates, as you're having a laugh. It's the giggles, man. And when this lockdown first kicked in and everyone was downloading that app and playing games on there, mate, we tried it a couple of times, me and my mates having a few beers, but it didn't last, mate, that, did it? It's not the same, mate. No. Yeah, hold on a minute, lads, I'm just going to crack another beer open, and then and everyone just has a few, gets drunk, and then leaves the phone facing the ceiling, fucking hammered. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's...
The best is we used to think that's being alcoholic, just drinking by yourself, and you're like, that's all I've been doing. It's just like, because there's nobody else to socialise.
If the definition of being an alcoholic is drinking by yourself, then the entire UK, in fact, the entire world is an alcoholic right now. Do you know what I mean? So simple as that.
Alcohol sales have gone through the roof, mate. You know what I mean? Especially that AU vodka. If you have that up in Scotland, everyone's going mad about this gold vodka. Well, it's gold bottle. No, that's cinnamon. That you're on about Goldschlager, aren't you? Yeah, fucking love that, mate. And you do glitter bombs, then you have Goldschlager. It's called that's a glitter bomb. Yeah, so you got a Jaeger bomb with Jägermeister and a glitter bomb with Goldschlager, and it's like cinnamon liqueur in it. But then the vodka, Smirnoff tried to do their own, but their version is actually vodka. It's cinnamon flavored vodka. It's not cinnamon liqueur, and it's fucking awful, mate. I don't like it. Well, you're Scottish, you probably love vodka, right?
Stereo.
Of course it does, eh? As long as it's alcohol, it's good, eh? We got I don't know if you've got the same thing. What was it? Dragon soup. You ever had that?
What's it called? Dragons?
It's dragon soup. It's just a tin, and then honestly, like.
Oh, dragon soup.
Dragon
Yes.
soup.
Yeah, in a can. Yes, there's some girls on my Snapchat going mad about that, mate. Yeah, it's got alcohol in it, but it's an energy drink with alcohol.
Oh, it's a right in a tin, like.
Yeah.
Like two tins of that, and you're off.
Oh, I love a good riot, man. I'm gonna have
Right. I might have to go Asda on the way back and get some
to,
of
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I've got a dragon tattoo on my arm. I'm gonna give it some soup. You know what I mean?
What have they said? What's things been like generally in the area where you are in regards to things like lockdowns? Then has everyone been playing by the rules? Has everyone been doing what they want?
Of course he has. Of course he have.
I have. I hardly went out at all. Like, I've been pretty good. I've been cycling a lot. I thought that's the only thing I should be doing is
Keeping fit, mate. Yeah. You like to keep fit.
I do, but in the same way, I was turning it into today and just eat myself out of house and home, and I'm like, right, I need to stop this, like, because I'm gonna be rolling out the door by this time lockdown's off, and so I've been just trying to keep fit. But I'm not. I just can't do exercise in the house like a woman. I can't sit there and do all that fucking aerobics and that. I'm like, just can't do it. I tried to, it's not happening.
What's it? Couch to 5K and all these things, buzzwords that people keep fucking throwing around and stuff. It's just like,
It's good though in a way. Like the only beneficial thing from lockdown is I think the country's got a lot fitter.
Yeah.
People have got fit. But they're saying that though at the same time we're on about alcohol, aren't we?
I think it's gone both ways.
Yeah.
I think that I think the fitter, health conscious people have got more fitter and health conscious, and the other people have just gone, fuck it.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I've lost muscle mass, bro. You know what I mean? Like you probably tell. I've lost muscle mass, mate. Like
Proper
the
weed-
gyms.
proper
I've got
weed,
one
yeah.
dumbbell at home, a 20-kilogram dumbbell, and there's only so much you can do with that. You know what I mean?
There is.
It's not the same, man. It's not the same. Do you go to any gyms then? No.
Well, it's all in lockdown. I did start working in a gym last year because I was working on site for years, and I thought I was just sick of the cold weather. I was just like, you know what, I'm going to work in a gym.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, man. Where it's hot and sweaty, mate. You know what I mean?
Free gym.
Smelling pheromones everywhere. It's great, isn't it?
Oh, it's brilliant. I thought
That's brilliant.
this will make me just stick at the gym, and I lasted 2 months, and then the lockdown happened to me. So I was like, oh well.
Shit.
Oh well, I tried. Where's the vodka?
So do you still technically work at the gym then? You just locked down, or did you leave?
No, I got paid off before the lockdown. It was like a week before it happened. They paid me off, and then everybody else got furloughed, and I never was. All right.
Nice. Fuck. Well,
It's a sneaky backhander sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, at least it gave you the kick and the drive to do the things that you wanted to do, to write the book, to start this whole ball rolling.
Yeah. Like I used to do wrestling years ago. That used to be like my hobby. Yeah.
What watching it or actually doing them?
No, doing it.
Oh wow,
Doing pro wrestling.
that's awesome.
I was kind of because I ended up moving back up north. And I was like, I need to do something on the weekends instead of going out and drinking. And I was needing a sort of different sort of circle.
So you thought, I know, fuck it, I'll wrestle. Fucking, I'll wrestle. Well, I thought about this just at the time I was watching WWE or whatever it is.
Crazy.
No, WWE.
WWE. Yeah, I've got a friend.
WCW, WWF, wasn't it?
Use WWF.
WWF back in the day.
Yeah, Undertaker, man.
He's just retired.
Is it?
He's just like last year
Undertaker,
retired.
man. I used to have the ring and everything. You know what I mean? Hulk Hogan and all that.
We're all wrestling fans back in the day. It was just. I kind of fell into it. It was like I was walking past and it was a ring, and I said, "What are you doing?" And like wrestling. I said, "All right, I'll go for this." And then end up doing it, and I did it for about 3-4 years, and then I went back once and I was in.
What was your wrestling name then? Did you have a cool wrestling name?
Johnny Hollywood.
Johnny Hollywood. I like it. That's all right.
Because why the fuck not? You know what I mean?
I dressed up in the 80s gear. I had the tassels and the fur coat, and I walked about like I was Conor McGregor with swagger.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
mid, mate. That's
Awesome.
like, it's like an alter ego, though, isn't it? You know what I mean?
I bet it was fun though, wasn't it?
It was fun. Like I always say, to wrestling's a bit like theatre and boxing is mixed together, and but the thing is, it's like it's loads of politics in the background to wrestling. There's loads of backstabbing and really sort of toxic. Yeah, people. Like, I'm not saying all of them are like that, but like it's the politics what ruins doing it. Like
To be honest, it's probably the same with a lot of things. It's not the actual doing it in the sport and the actual activity. It's the shit in the background and the.
it's just people with egos, and you're just like, man, we're all doing the sort of same thing, you know. It's like, but the weird bit is like I had short goals in that as well. I was like, I wonder if I could get booked in any other companies. Did that. I got booked with 5 different companies, and then I thought, I wonder if I can get into ICW. That's like the main sort of Scottish. And what is it? I blagged my way into it, and I ended up being security. And then I thought, I really want to be in a match. It means I ran into a match, got kicked about like an empty tracksuit, and I was like, fuck it, I was here anyway.
That's mint, man. That's fucking mint.
Is that on YouTube anywhere?
Yeah, it's on their what do you call it? It's not their podcast. It's the I can't mind what it is.
They got like their own streaming service kind of thing.
Like Twitch.
Right. Okay. Yeah, my friend pays for the WWE one. He's obsessed with it still. I've got to admit, we watched which is the one where they're all Royal Rumble. I watched the Royal Rumble like 2 weeks ago. It was actually really good. I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you have any stories like that in your book?
Yeah. Was there anything about the wrestling?
Yeah, I had one story at the end about wrestling there, sort of like, because I end up explaining how wrestling's a bit like behind the scenes. It's like it's one really good trick with wrestling is it's heavily choreographed and it's really hard to do that. You know, like it means like I was explaining like if it was say you got dancing and you got like 2 volley and they go over the same routine over and over again for months and months. You know, and they're picking each other up. We got 20 minutes and you didn't know who you're wrestling with, and then somebody comes along, a booker, and goes, right, you're winning, you're losing. Here's the guy you're wrestling with, and then it means you're trying to choreograph what you're going to do, and they're speaking in wrestling jargon, where you're like, I can't mind that. Because I used to go out in the ring, and goes, as long as I keep moving, the crowd didn't know I missed a spot, and then the other guy would be like raging because you missed a spot. It means you used to get stiffened in the ring, and then that used to happen quite often.
I knew there was a degree of. I don't like to say it's fake because that's not people still getting thrown about and there's still physical contact and it's still very very much about contact. But
yeah, but it's
not
like acting.
Yeah, I knew there was a degree of acting there, but I didn't realize it was like full on.
You're
going to win, you're going to lose. Yeah, that's crazy.
There's in my mind, all I can see is 2 types of wrestling. The type you see on the telly that is classed as fake, and then the type that a lot of like high school American kids will really take it up like they will with, you know, baseball or whatever, or American football, and a lot will do wrestling. But that wrestling that you see is real wrestling, you know, as in when I say real,
like holds
as in like there's no you're winning, you're losing. It's like, let's see you can win.
Yeah, like we used to do what is mat wrestling as well, and I was good at it. We just call it a shoot wrestling match, where there's nothing choreographed. It's just like putting each other into holds, and I was good at it. But you see when it came to the choreographed stuff, I was like, I just couldn't mind it. You know, like you go out and you're trying to mind what spots coming up, and same way. Like I say, you still get stiffened. Like, you know, if somebody threw 5 punches quite close to your face, you're always going to get clocked maybe once or twice, and you're all right. or somebody's just doing it on purpose, you know, because they're pissed off with you because you missed a spot.
Because you've missed a few things. Yeah. It must be really difficult as well if someone says, right, you're losing, and you've got to like not do very well. But like when you're in a situation like that, you want to do your best, don't you? Because you're competing. So it's like you've got to go in there and compete and make it convincing, but you've got to lose. That's like, it must have actually been really hard.
my ego was never bad that way because I was like, I just seen it. As long as I'm entertaining and I'm going out and I'm doing my thing, I'm quite happy. I could lose every night, you know, I could lose every weekend. You know, I'm not bored about a Mickey Mouse title. I was more bored like a title was me being in the ring. I was like, I'm quite happy. You know, I achieved one of my goals.
Yeah, and in the back of your head, you're thinking, I could have fucking killed this guy, man, but I've been told to lose, so you know what I mean?
It's like a few people and they're like that, and you're like, I can't be bored with this guy, but well, it is what it is.
That's mint, man.
Yeah,
Did you ever like have really backstage sort of beef?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. The politics is horrible back.
Did you like, if you want to fight properly, we'll go outside?
Yeah, fucking car park. Come on, gloves off.
I did get chucked out one group. They just took a disliking to me, and I was just like, oh, you know what, whatever. I end up in a different group, and but they're all kind of like that. I mean, I met a few really cool people like Gradle. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Gradle, he's like a Scottish wrestler. He's quite big, more bit. Drew McIntyre. Have you ever?
Yeah, I know him. Yeah, he's WWE, isn't he?
He's a WWE champion. I met him 4 times, and I was like, you see now I'm like, fuck, I was in a show with him. You know, it's just, you know. But this guy's like famous. Yeah, he's really big. Yeah. And I met this other guy. What is it called? Dave Kidney. He's he's in his 80s and he was still doing wrestling. You know, he's still going out and he's doing the old British stuff. But again, the British wrestling was a different compared to American wrestling. I really liked that. I thought that's cool.
Yeah, man.
That's
Crazy.
mint, man.
Well, I didn't expect to be talking about wrestling in this podcast. That's for sure. That's a nice addition. So.
Yeah, but it's good though because like it's like you say, we're getting to know you. People are getting to know you, and the fact that you've put that in your book as well. So with these stories, is any of them like fictional then, or are they just all based on fact?
No, it's a story. Like I think a lot of people are hoping that it's going to be my childhood right up till now. You know, like and go, oh, in the age of 10 this happened and such. But it's all like more like poems and all little short stories, and it's like roughly, about my life, but with a bit of more colour and something like that. Does that make sense?
Yep, definitely. You sort of a bit of based on things in your life, but creative license, dramatized, enhanced a little bit, perhaps. I think that's any author though. I think that's how a lot of authors write books. They'll have an initial idea for something, or they'll experience something in their life which gives them the inspiration, but then it's often dramatized to make more, engaging for the reader.
Yeah.
It's more like the short stories and poems. It's like
There's some poems as well.
Well, most of my books are poem. It's more like poems and little short stories, just to do with like. Again, just my thoughts and feelings, and just stuff mental.
Well, no,
I can't wait to have a read of this signed
I'm gonna,
edition.
Yeah, we'll sort that out. We'll send some messages. We'll get some money to some charity somewhere or whatever, or we'll just buy some off. In fact, we might just buy some off Amazon or whatever, and maybe send them to you to sign. Or we'll figure it out though.
Yeah, man. Like I say, I'll chuck you all over my socials, mate, and everything. Do you know what I mean?
I'm looking forward to reading that though.
I know. Thanks for that.
No, definitely. Well, I mean, if there's anything, we've been going for 49 minutes, mate. So if there's anything else you want to add, if there's anything else you want to shout out for now, but
where can people find you? Do you know what I mean? Do you want people to find you on the socials or?
Yeah. I've got a Facebook page. It's Sean Begg Sean. Means you can send me a message or whatever.
Yep.
Bye.
We'll say we'll put all the links to that in the description so people can just click straight through as well, and also links to the book on Amazon so people can click it and click. Is it available on Audible? Is it available on anything else yet?
It's just ebook. Ebook's quite good because it's in colour. Books in black and white, but yeah. I'm trying to think.
It's going to be cool. You're going to say it's going to be quite cool. It's going to be interesting to do. To sort of send out, if you like, this podcast on different platforms, because YouTube used to be just the way only, but now we're recording it and editing it ourselves. We can send it out on Facebook and send it out on YouTube, and
we're gonna definitely if anybody's watching, they put it on a Facebook, send it about, kick a bit like empty tracks at it and see how far it goes.
That's it, man.
That's it.
Anything that we can do, and
Helps you guys as well.
definitely.
Exactly, mate. Yeah, we share it on our socials. You share it on your socials, and there you go.
And that's what it's all about. You know, that's why we do this, and that's why, you know, people like yourself come on the show. So
especially people like really interesting stories like yourself. You know what I mean? It's like your very first book, and we're having you on the show, and you know, talking about growing up with dyslexia, and you know, there's a lot of people out there going through the same sort of struggles as we speak. You know, obviously not at school at the minute, but still.
Just one final thing, actually. I'm glad you mentioned that. Thank you, George. If there's anybody out there that is watching or listening to this that's sort of thinking to themselves, you know what, that sounds familiar. Like, I'm thinking that maybe that's why I've been struggling with stuff. Have you got any advice on places they can go to help? I know that you didn't get a lot of help to start off with, and that's awful, but things have progressed now in the world, haven't they? So are you aware of any organisations or places that people can reach out to if they feel that they're maybe struggling from something similar?
Well, up Scotland, we've got Dyslexia Scotland. We used to have a Big Plus as well. That was adult reading. You still there?
Yep.
But what is that? I think, sorry. I think it's just more help. Just try to speak about it. It's like don't hide it. You know, like even how embarrassed you are. Just be honest. You know.
I think that's the main thing, isn't it? Like you just said, don't hide it. Like people would like stay sort of, you know, in the shadows about it, and let it all build up inside them, and people might not realise they have this problem, and like you say, it just stems from there.
Like you, sorry to interrupt, like you touched on earlier, people were just telling you that you were thick, and you're not, and you weren't. You just had an issue with something that was undiagnosed, essentially. So again, there might be other people out there that don't want to talk about it because people have said that they're stupid, but actually they're not. They've got something not quite wired the same as everybody else, and could be creative in other areas, like you've said that you are. You know, so it's
everybody's wired differently.
Definitely.
Like I think with like me, like I can't do that, but I'm twice as good at something else. Or I think that gives me a drive to go and try to prove that wrong, sort of thing.
Yeah,
definitely.
I might not be good at reading, but I'm fucking mint at wrestling.
Yeah.
I don't know about
choke slam.
Yeah, you fucking take the piss out of me. I'm going to fucking choke slam you.
That's a good point, actually. I wonder, you know, it's a nice defense mechanism as well. If anybody's, you know, gives you any kind of shit going forward, you can just, you know, get them in a headlock, choke them out, you know.
Oh, man. I'm a gentleman, I'm just all love and peace and a good time,
Yeah, that's like me, man. That's the best way to be, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like one love, man. That's what it says on my Instagram. Just one love, man. Like, I don't understand. There's people brought into this world. There's all different beliefs, all different religions, all different sexes.
I thought that on your Instagram meant one love, as in you just love yourself. Like you just have one love.
Yeah,
and it is you.
I did change it from self-love. But yeah, man. Like, it doesn't matter which way you go in life. It doesn't matter where you're born on this earth. It doesn't matter what religion, you know, what faith you're preaching, you're practicing, or whatever. Or if you're gay, straight, doesn't matter. There's only one race, that's the human race, and that's what I really I don't get. Like, people, they're not so different from yourselves, or where people's really high up and people say, no, you're just down there. It's like, what? No, we're all human. I've always said that. Like, doesn't matter. Or people go, oh, like, what was it last week? Someone said, oh, don't talk, he's a copper. Oh, can you believe that? He's a copper. And I'm like, so what? He's a copper. He's a normal person, you know what I mean?
He's still a human.
I've probably dated his missus.
I don't care. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't bother me. Like, everyone's human, man.
That's like me. You get like people and they're like with different classes and all that. I'm like, man, we're all as one, man. We're all the same guy. Yeah. Like, you know, we all got different problems in our life, and you know,
that's it.
Exactly, mate. We all go through struggles and strifes. We've all been through some shit. We've all got baggage at some point through our lives.
But,
you know.
but to just reiterate a point you made earlier, and that we've sort of said as well, it's just about talking about it. So you know, if there is anybody listening or watching this that is going through various struggles themselves, just go and talk to someone. There's people out there that will listen, that will help, and hopefully. It can stop being a problem. But yeah,
even with like with the mental health, I think this last year it's definitely came out more for men, because I think men used to hide it a lot, you know, because we used to go, oh, we're manly, we're done, we didn't need to show emotion. But see, like even my book's got so much in it where I'm like, oh no, But I'm like, well, it probably helps somebody else, you know. Like people go, I get where he's coming from with that, you know.
Definitely. It's men's mental health. Well, mental health, but the mental health of everybody, but certainly for men this last year has definitely been something that a lot more people have focused on. I mean, we had a few guys on last year on the podcast who they were literally a men's mental health group that they'd set up because there was none. There was no others that you know they needed each other, and then they felt maybe other people could benefit from us as well. So
yeah, real mentor. We need to get him back on actually.
It's like my mate up north. He started up a charity because there's no groups up there for mental health, and he said there's more people died with suicide up there with COVID instead of with COVID. Because he started last year and he's just trying to get up and going up in Caithness. And I thought, well, good for you, like that.
Well, send us a link to that, and we'll stick that in the description of your video as well if you want.
Whereabouts in Scotland are you?
Hang on a minute. You just said your mate up north. Aren't you up north? How is he more north than you? Or?
I'm originally from Wick, Caithness. That's like Johnny Groats.
Right. Oh, okay.
But I moved down till Falkirk and then crossed to Edinburgh when I was 8. Means I'm from that way. Yeah.
So I used to like the whiskey from Isle of Jura. Is it Jura whiskey? Isle of Jura?
Oh, Whiskey Glore.
Is it? It's what?
Whiskey Glore. That one, or is it?
I don't know. There's a whiskey called Jura with a J. It's Jura. And I know that you've got loads of different islands, haven't you, around Scotland, and apparently that's where all the best whiskey is, isn't it?
I still stay about 5 minutes away from it. That was Old Pulteney. That's like one of the best whiskies, I would say, because I lived next to it.
Yeah, it was the easiest. It was the easiest whiskey to get.
Easy. Well, I suppose if you got it from source, it would have been better as well, wouldn't it? Not been transported about and bottled. If it's just made there and then you drunk it, it's probably like best possible, you know.
It's funny because like you get some whiskies and they're like right strong bitter taste, and then you get other ones that's peaty, you know, and you can start tasting the difference. But
I'm a bit of a lightweight with all that kind of stuff, mate. If I had probably a glass of whiskey, I wouldn't be able to drive home. Put it that way. I'm not. It's not. No.
Last time I drank whiskey, I was at a house party in Glasgow, and that was me right off it. It was like the next morning, woke up, I was like, just embarrassed for days. I was like, what did I do?
Yeah, man. It wrote me off for about 3-4 days. I felt groggy for 3-4 days, but I had half a bottle of Glenmorangie or Glenmorangie, however you want to say it, and I had half a bottle of just pure that on ice on the rocks. And I remember everything that night, and I remember saying to people, I'm fine, I feel sober, and I watched it, and I remember feeling like I feel all right. I've had half a bottle of whiskey, but I actually feel fine. And then I watched back the videos the next day. I went, whoa, I was not fine. But in my head, I thought I was, and it's a different buzz, man. Like, whoa, dangerous, isn't it?
It is dangerous. I was like, that's it. I'm not touching whiskey again, because it was like just 3 days I was written off. I was like,
yeah.
I had. Have you ever had Kraken? Have you ever had Kraken before?
Kraken, aye.
Yeah. I like Kraken. The spiced rum.
Fuck you, Jesus. I drowned my sorrows in that one.
I like that, man.
I like it, but I was drunk.
Yeah, I think it tastes like caramel, man. I'll just keep drinking that.
It's like we got trawler rum. It's got a little fishing boat, and it's good. That's what we used to drink when we were like 14, 15. You know, we used to think we're like fishermen. Like just pour it in a bottle of fucking red cola and.
That's mint, bro.
Happy days. Well, but yeah. Well, I mean, again, thank you so much for coming on. Sorry for the technical difficulties and sorry for the delays and everything. And yeah, I mean, it's been fantastic to learn a little bit more about you and, you know, your book and everything like that. Like we say, we'll stick all your social media links and everything that you want to send over to us, Amazon links, the link to your friend's charity, perhaps. We'll stick all those in the video and we'll promote all that as we're promoting the video. And is there any final things you want to say?
Oh, I could go on. I don't know. I used to do extras, you know, like film extras.
All right.
I used to do that. I fell into that one time, and I did that for a wee while. It means I'm like Finding Where's Wally and some like TV shows and movies.
Oh
yeah.
Have you actually seen yourself in the film?
Yeah. I was in the Trainspotting 2.
Were you really?
Yeah.
You're in Trainspotting 2, bro?
Aye, man. I was in that. but you can pause, mate, and go, here I am, and you got Big Bay, and it's just me dancing a bit in the corner.
Right. Well, I'm going to watch that tonight, and I'm going to look for you.
That's mint, bro. Did you get to meet them all then, and like signature sign everything?
Yeah. Did you meet everyone that was on the set and all that?
I met everybody on the set. It was I ended up, it was in a nightclub, and I was finding for their filming, and I was like, I need to get in this movie, because it's one of my favourite films. And then they had a nightclub scene, and then they're changing it, and then I was like, oh, all right, means I'm sitting there dancing, and then you see my movie in a second, and then I was in the Gary Tank Commander. I don't know if you ever seen that TV show. Yeah, sorry, that's it there.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Aye.
Oh, cool.
Aye, I was just doing extras in Gallows Law and then Case Files. It's a bit like a ship Tiger, but I was like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's mint, bro.
And these were all paid jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. That's not bad. It's not a bad career to go for, is it?
I thought it was good fun, you know.
So what are you going to be on next year? X on the beach?
Nah, definitely not. Like, I definitely not what I see any of my exes like.
No, well, hopefully for the remainder of this year, any TV appearances you'll do will be advertising your books the things that you're doing. Hopefully.
Aye.
Right, man. We'll have to cut this short, bro. Because
we're gonna wrap this up, mate. For this
been
one,
an hour.
What we'd like to do though, going forward, is obviously stay in touch, and then as things progress, as you maybe do another book, as this particular book builds up a bit more momentum, maybe have you on again in future, and we can go into some other stuff and deep dive into some other stuff if that sounds good to you.
Perfect. Any time like that. It was
That's fantastic, mate. And I'll text you through my address for these books, mate. We'll send you a FUK hoodie or a t-shirt, man.
We'll do a merch swap.
I'll be posting that up on Facebook.
Excellent.
Exactly, man. Yeah, wear the merch, mate. You know what I mean? And we'll wear the merch holding our books, and then we'll Photoshop it like we stood together and that.
Yeah, man. It sounds good. Honestly, mate. Well, what we'll do, we will, well, I don't know. It depends.
We're going to edit it in the next few days, and it should be up by Saturday/Sunday over the weekend.
Yeah. Try and get it out straight away.
Yeah, man.
Got to keep that pace. Got to keep the momentum. Like with you and your writing, like with you and what you're doing. You've got to keep moving forward, mate. So, but honestly, thanks so much for coming on. We apologise for the technical difficulties, mate. And yeah, it's been great, mate. It's been great talking to you.
Fucking awesome, Sean. You're such a nice guy, mate.
Yeah,
you too,
man,
brother.
Definitely.
Take care, mate, and we'll speak soon, mate. Yeah.
Definitely.
Thanks,
care,
guys.
my
I know, yeah.
Peace,
And
peace,
also
peace.
to the people out there, just subscribe and all that sort of stuff. You know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe, comment as well.
Buy
Tell
the
us
book.
know what you think.
And buy the book.
Buy the book, people.
Buy the book.
Yeah, look
Make
for it
sure.
now on Amazon. Alone in My Heid.
Links below. Links to socials. Get involved. And
do it.
yeah, until the next time.